All right, here we go. Lesson 3.3, Simulation Notes. We are using random number generators and probabilities to predict the future. So one final application here of probabilities. The first thing you need to know is, how do I write a rule? To do that, you need to decide what a success or failure is. To do that, we look at the past and we say, what has been the probability in the past? And it might be something like, I don't know, 1/6 of the time we know that a die lands on a 3. Or it might be that 99% of the time your mom or dad say no to you staying up late. Okay? Whatever the success is, the rest is determined as failure. So for example, in my case, if it was 1 out of 6 was success, then 5 out of 6 would be failure. And the best way we'll probably do this is we're going to change this into some sort of percent. In this case, I think this is about 16.7%, and so this would be 83.3%. All right. Then we go to a website to get some random numbers. This is the random number generator. And there's a link on the assignment for random.org. And there you can use an integer generator. The first thing you need to do is determine how many numbers do you need in total. Typically, you take your trials times the number of items in each trial. And then you say, well, I'm going to take the random numbers from 0 to 99 or 1 to 100. If you're doing a die scenario, you certainly could do something like 1 to 6. Or if it was a true-false scenario, then it'd be 1 to 2. You know, those kinds of scenarios. Then, finally, the last thing you do is you select the number of columns that you need. So let's do an example. Because the last step is you find your probabilities. I would always show your work by highlighting the successes to answer the probabilities or the failures. It doesn't matter which one you're looking at, but here we go. So let's say we're simulating the success of a new antibiotic on 6 patients, and we're going to run 10 trials. In the past, we'll say our success rate with this antibiotic was 62%. So on the first trial that we did, say, it was 62%. So now we're going to simulate what's going to happen when we do a larger trial. All right. So the first thing we need to do is define a rule. And so in this case, success will be defined as from any number 0 to 61. Now you may say, why from 0 to 61? Well, there are 62 numbers out of the 100 numbers that are listed, so 62 out of 100 that are listed and defined as a success. So notice those two match. You could also say from 1 to 62. And then the rest, so any number beyond 61, so starting at 62 all the way out to 99, will be defined as a failure. So then 38, because there'll be 38 numbers here out of 100, would be defined as the failure rate. Okay, so now that we have our rule, let's go ahead and get our random numbers. So I went to random.org. Let's see if I still have that pulled up. Yeah. And let me go back. And so I set up here. There's my 60 integers and 0 to 99. I want them in 6 columns. And I hit get numbers. Now, in this case, when I hit get numbers again, I'm going to generate a new set of numbers. So these numbers here will be different from the one that I did a few minutes ago and posted in my notes. And every time I hit again, I get a new set. All right? So everybody's going to have slightly different answers, and that's okay. That's how random number generators work. So the first thing I do is I'm going to highlight. In this case, I'm going to highlight my failures. So any number that is larger than 61, so 62 to 99. So there I have highlighted them all, except for I kind of stopped here towards the end. So for example, 63, and in this group looks like we have everybody. And then my last trial, just 98. All right, so here I have my 10 trials. And if you're looking at, successes, I would have 4 out of 6 on my first one, and then I would have 3 out of 6, and so on. Here I had 6, everybody. Next to last one, I had nobody, right? All right, so you could go through and count up individually. But they'll be asking you individual questions like, what was the average probability that somebody was healthy using this particular antibiotic? And so out of the 60 people, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 16, 17, 19, 20, 26. So I had 26 people that were sick, did not respond to the antibiotic. So then I had 33 people that were, or actually 34. I think that's 60. Yep. So 34 people that were. And again, we could reduce that to 17 out of 30. And we could even change that into a percentage if we wanted to. What was the probability of having more than 3 sick in a group of 6? So more than 3. So how many times did I have it more than 3? Well, I had clearly there, I had 4 people there, and then I think that was it. So I just had 2 scenarios where I had 4 or greater, right? Because we can clearly see here, I had 4 there, and then I had 6 people here, but all my other ones had 3 or less. So in this case, we had 2 out of the 10 groups. So 1/5 of the cases, or 20%, right, were sick. I had more than 3 sick. So in each case, they'll give you questions like that. And you are going to, let me show you the worksheet. So the first thing you do is you set up some rules about success or failures. Then you're going to answer questions about the probability or the failure. And make sure that you go get numbers, because you'll need those numbers. Yeah. And here they give you the random numbers in question 4. And question 5, you have to, again, come up with your own numbers for making free throws. All right? Good luck in your homework.